gone to my grandmother's house. I loved going to my grandmother's house. Often my brother and I used to play outside at my grandmother's house at night. Similarly, one day, when we were going to play at night, suddenly grandmother forbade us from going out tonight. I asked my grandmother the reason for this. She told me that today is Amavasya night, and one should not go out of the house on this night. I asked Nani to tell me the reason for this. Then Nani told us the story of Govind and Deepak from the nearby bus stand. It was almost midnight, and the incessant rain was showing no signs of abating. Deepak had just finished his work and was preparing to leave the office. As he moved towards the exit, Govind approached him with nervous eyes. Govind asked him why it was so late. Deepak told that he had to finish some important work, due to which there was delay. He assured Govind that he was going home now. However, Govind looked unusually scared. He told him that today is Amavasya night, so he should stay in the office only. There was caution in Govind's voice, but Deepak, eager to go home, politely declined. Govind told that he had to return early tomorrow, and he could not afford to stay overnight. Understanding Deepak's problem, Govind once again asks him to stop. But she proposed that they wait until Govind's shift was over, and they could leave together. However, Deepak was determined to go. She thanked Govind for his concern and politely declined the offer to wait. Before Deepak leaves, Govind gives him a small amulet and insists that he keep it with him. Govind explains that it is a protective amulet that his grandmother gave him to protect him from evil spirits. At first, Deepak refused because he did not believe in all these things. But Deepak accepted the amulet and kept it in his pocket, more out of respect for Govind than belief in its powers. As soon as Deepak reached the bus stop, it started raining heavily. The thunder of clouds created a frightening atmosphere. When he was standing and waiting for the bus, he saw a man coming from the right side. In the darkness, he could not make out the person's face clearly, but it seemed that he was coming towards the bus stop. Looking to his left, Deepak saw nothing but an empty road. When he looked again to the right, the man had disappeared. This sudden disappearance upset Deepak, but he tried to avoid it, considering it to be a trick of light. As he reflected on what he saw a taxi coming in the distance. He waved. The taxi stopped, and Deepak felt a wave of relief. Deepak sat in the taxi and told the driver his address. While the driver was driving, Deepak was thinking about that man only. The driver was unusually quiet, which increased his uneasiness. Deepak couldn't help himself and asked if he saw any man here, but the driver did not answer. After a while, breaking the silence, the driver explained that it was Amavasya, a night when wandering spirits look for their victims. Hearing this, Deepak tried to dismiss it as superstition and said that he did not believe in such thing. The driver pointed towards a person standing on the roadside to Deepak's left. Reluctantly, Deepak looked towards him and saw a man standing there who looked like a taxi driver. But due to darkness, his face was not visible properly. Confused and scared, Deepak turned forward to talk to the driver and was shocked to see the sight there. There was no one in the driver's seat. It seemed as if the taxi was moving on its own. Frightened, Deepak asked the taxi to stop. Instead of stopping, the taxi went faster. Deepak held the door handle. His heart started beating fast. Suddenly, the taxi stopped, due to which Deepak's head hit the front seat. When he looked up, the driver was sitting back in his seat and staring at him. The driver asked if he was okay, and Deepak nervously demanded to know where the driver had gone. The driver seemed shocked, insisting that he was there the whole time, and suggesting that Deepak was imagining things. Deepak, still trembling, paid the fare and got out of the taxi. Confusion and fear raced through his mind as he walked toward his apartment building. He checked his pocket and found the protective amulet, which had now turned a deep black color. Its change further increased his growing restlessness. Next morning, Deepak got a call from a colleague. Last night, security guard Govind had an accident. He was hit by a taxi and died on the spot. Deepak was very surprised to hear this, and as soon as she hung up the phone, his eyes fell on the amulet. He realized that it was Govind's talisman that had protected him last night. Had it not been for the talisman, he could have met with the accident instead of Govind, and he would not have been alive today.